Alright everyone, welcome back to another video. So here we have a 2018 BMW X1. I looked it up. These are about $900 headlights. They do have the adaptive dynamics in it, so that means the light kind of moves when you kind of change the direction of the steering wheel. So you can see we got a little bit of microcracking starting right here on the bottom, a little bit right here as well, some hazy oxidation over here on the top, and just overall clear coat deterioration. Nothing too bad. This side, unfortunately, there's nothing we can do about this. This is a severely broken seal. So in some cases, when a customer has really hazy headlights, like super yellow headlights, and it has water on the inside, you can actually still restore it. And sometimes the light from the sun can actually penetrate the lens and actually kind of evaporate some of the light or some of the water. So sometimes it is still good to have your headlight restored if it is super hazy and there's water on the inside, because it can help evaporate that water trapped inside. But yeah, unfortunately, you're just gonna have to replace this one. So this one I'm predicting is probably gonna be a 320, 400, 600 grit, but we shall see on the first swipe. So let's do it. So the customer's inside. They said that they were in a meeting and they weren't able to make it out, so I wasn't able to have them pop the hood. I do have it set to where whenever we schedule an appointment, so we're busy enough now to where we have a CRM. For those of you who don't know, it's a customer relationship manager, and it's super helpful when it comes to scheduling, doing automated text, and we have it set to where the automated text will tell them to park the vehicle facing outwards and pop the hood. And this one, he might have not gotten that, but no damage done. That's perfectly fine. Because a lot of times in my past videos, people ask me, hey, why didn't you pop the hood? Sometimes the walk is a little far for the customer, so I won't even bother telling them. Or sometimes I'll just flat out forget. For me, it's not a huge factor. It's not a make or break situation. It could save on material. For example, I'm taping this area up right here, which I wouldn't have to do if the hood was popped, but again, no damage done. So I'm going to start with a 400 just to see where it gets me, because European vehicles, Mercedes, BMW, clear coat is typically pretty stubborn. This is a 2018, so it's a little bit older. Can't believe I'm saying that a 2018 is older, but time goes by. So just gonna do a light little haze here. I'm gonna fold it, just do medium to firm pressure. And the way I can tell when I have to drop to a 320 is, you see how easy it's sliding across? That tells me that I need to drop. So over here on the top, it's pretty deteriorated. So that I could do 400 on this, but down here on the bottom, see how it's not really doing anything? I'm gonna need to drop to a 320. It's a question I get asked a lot. People asking me, hey, how do you know what to start with? It's really a case-by-case basis. You'll kind of learn it with the brands or experience. Because sometimes, even though it looks clean, like even though this clear coat looks like it's in good condition, it could be really, really weak. So I could still do a 400 and get away with it. So now I'm starting to get more traction on it, more grip. So see right here, it's very, very slick and easy. Not making much progress there, so that's stubborn clear coat right there. And then right here is super, super intact. It's funny because a lot of customers, they'll tell me, oh, my headlights aren't too bad, it's just hazing up right here on the top, you know, it's going to be easy. It's actually the opposite. The more hazy it is, the easier it is. said in the past, there are cases when I would use power tools. This is one of them. If you have a headlight with very stubborn clear coat, it could take a little bit longer. Now, granted, I could still get this done in a feasible time, but it's just a little bit more sanding. I still don't have to use power tools to do this. Well, let me use this spray bottle, or Dave will be in the comment section. It's pretty good. It's the Master Blaster. I mean, this one, 32 ounces. Sprays pretty good. I like kind of a misty kind of spray. There we go, like that. When we're at the customer's job. These particular cases, we do contactless service. So what that means is we'll do the job, take before and after pictures, and then I'll send them a payment link when I'm done. I haven't been scammed or anything. There was one time, actually just recently, we went to a job. Was at a hospital, and send all the automated text to the customer, hey, we're on our way. We sent the 24-hour reminder, didn't say anything back, so we went. They said it was a Toyota Camry, so we did the job, and the customer ended up texting me a day later saying, hey, I'm sorry, I had a baby, you know, the wife went into labor, so I didn't go into work. So I'm like, what the heck, man? Like, you didn't text us or nothing. And there happened to be another vehicle that was the same exact make, model, year, color, and everything. So I don't know if we got scammed or not, but I wasn't happy about that. First time it's ever happened. But he'll get his. I'm not. On average, our jobs are about 30 minutes. I mean, granted, it sucks, but you're gonna take loss every now and then. This was a prime example. This customer was a lifetime warranty, $150 for both headlights. Turned out I got here, that one's way too far gone, so I'm just gonna do this headlight. So just charge them probably $70 for this one, because it's not gonna take too long. People are on me a lot in the comment section about my pricing, and to me, like, you know, $90 in less than 30 minutes, average about 30 minutes. It's pretty good. In my eyes. And again, if we're doing, like, you know, 5 or 6 a day, we're doing pretty good. Between me and Brett, you know, it's staying busy. Right now we're breaking in pretty good to the clear coat. You can see right here the water's starting to repel, so that's a good sign. That tells me that I'm at the raw headlight. Because when you spray the water over the clear, it just kind of goes down, or kind of stays on the clear. But if you spray it on the raw headlight, it'll kind of repel. So, good rule of thumb. always stress to people, man, get into the business. If you're watching this video, I mean, you either own this vehicle, this kind of vehicle, and you're looking to see how to restore your own headlights, or you're looking to start your own business. I would say, like, get into it yesterday. You know, there's a lot of businesses you can start, and this one is one of those ones where the labor is just easy. Like, I'm not breaking my back, I'm not stressed. There's no people are very understanding if there's any, because the only issue you typically deal with is scheduling conflicts. That's really it. I don't deal with irate customers. I don't deal with nothing like that. And you have two choices. You can either turn it into just a side income, or you can try to, you can make it into a full-time job. Alright, you can see right here, we're breaking through the clear coat pretty good. There's a thick layer of clear coat right here and right over here. So that's what I'm talking about when I say inspect your lens. Look for situations like these. You want it super milky, scratched up. You can see right here, it's still pretty clear. So I'll show you. I don't know how well you can see it, but I can see it's right here. As I'm sanding, I'll spray. And I can see my progress real time. And you can see that spot right there is gone. So whenever you're dry sanding, you don't see that. You're just blindly sanding. You don't see how much further you have left, so you're sanding an excessive amount of the polycarbonate off of the headlight. So that's why I wet sand. That's why I'm saving so much more time, because if you got to drill and you're sanding, you don't know where you're at. So you could be taking off layers and layers and layers when you don't need to. See, all that's gone, so we're good to go. There's still some spots right here I didn't get too well. Alright, so we're good to go. I'm going to move on to the 400. So I started with a 320. That's very aggressive. That's going to remove the clear coat, the imperfections, all that stuff. I'm moving to a 400 now because I need to remove the scratches I made with the 320. Now granted, the clear coat does have filling properties in it, so I don't necessarily have to do it. I can just go straight to a 6, but to be more thorough and 100%, I'm going to do the 400 and then the 600. And I can't stress it enough to inspect your lens. Even if you're using the Meguiar's method or a ceramic coat method, whatever method you're using, the key to a good restoration is making sure you remove all that crap before you move on to your restoration process. Because there's 2 steps to a restoration process. The first step to the restoration is the prep process. That's removing all this crap, all the imperfections, the chips, the scratches. That's the prep process. And then there's the restoration process itself. That's the applying the clear coat, applying the ceramic coat, applying the McGuire's, whatever you're doing. Because headlight restoration, it's like 90% prep. It's all about how good you can get the lens ready for the restoration process. So I could see, I don't know how well you can see, but right here, there's a little haze on the inside. So, no big damage or anything. Alright, we're good. So we're going to move on to the 6, which is right here. If you are doing this business, always keep a bunch of business cards on you. And I want you to, between jobs, drop off your business cards everywhere. Anywhere there's an automotive niche. So tint shops, body shops. I'll even drop my cards off at AutoZone. Like, I'll talk to the people and be like, hey, can I just leave these on the counter? And they're like, yeah, that's fine. So the 600 is going to prep the lens for the clear coat. Because remember, every time you sand, you're penetrating different lengths into the headlight. So for example, a 320 is going to, here's the top of the lens, 320 is going to penetrate this deep, 400 is going to penetrate this deep, 600 is going to penetrate this deep. So, sorry, there's a plane going by. So that's why a lot of times people will see scratches after they restore their headlights. Not with this method, but other methods. It's because you didn't sand it long enough with the follow-up grits of sandpaper. Because all this white stuff that's coming off, that's the headlight itself. That's the polycarbonate. I'm sanding it still medium to firm pressure, and horizontal motions. You don't want to do anything circular. You're not spraying circular, so you don't want to sand circular. Now, if you're using this method, if you're using the Next Gen Headlight Solutions clear coat, you can sand with a power tool, like an orbital sander. However, you have to follow up by hand sanding with the 600 at the very end. So you don't necessarily have to hand sand if you don't want to. Alright, looking good. Water's starting to repel. So I'm going to do one more 600 just to be safe. I'm going to be doing a Q&A video here soon. It's been a while since I last did one. Just getting lots and lots of questions, lots of new questions. A lot of people asking like the legalities of it. Are you an LLC? Do you have insurance? Yes and yes. People tend to forget that this is a business. This is not a hobby or anything. So, alright, we're in the clear. So now I'm going to take the water off. So I'm using blue tape. A lot of people will be like, no, don't use blue tape. But because I'm wet sanding, it comes off super easy. You can see that. So I don't have to worry about pulling up paint or anything. Now, as a disclaimer, if the condition of the paint on the vehicle is crap, it does not matter what tape you're using, you're going to pull up paint. Doesn't matter if you're using automotive tape, doesn't matter if you're using baby tape, Johnson & Johnson, I don't care what kind of tape you're using. If the paint is crappy on the headlight, or on the bumper, on the fender and all that, you're going to pull up paint. So, in my opinion, even if you do have a crappy paint job, wet sanding is going to reduce the adhesion on the tape, so it's not going to be as bad. I'm just going to dry everything here. I'm going to try to reduce the amount of like watermarks and all that. I always say you want to clean the headlight in this stage rather than when you're done, because if you are spraying the headlight with the clear coat, you don't want to take the risk of touching it on accident. So get your cleaning and everything done in this step. Don't wait till the end to clean it. You might watch some of my videos and sometimes I'll rush or I'll forget. I did forget my sprayer at the flea market. So I'm going to blow out this so you can see right here there's trapped water in there. If I were to prep this for the spray and I were to spray it, that pressure from the aerosol is going to blow all that trapped water out and potentially on the lens, and then I'm screwed. So I'm going to blow this out. Now granted, you don't have to have this to start your restoration business. Look at it as a luxury. If I didn't have that, I would basically stick this in here like this, just roll it down. Now you definitely want to work to that though. Definitely want to get a blower at some point. That's where I started. So I started with this. So I was like, man, I need to find a better way to do this. Hello.
What would you charge?
I don't do detailing. It's just headlight restoration.
I don't need that.
No, you will soon. Have a good day. I get that a lot too. I don't want to do detailing. That's what I was originally going to do when I first started, but I realized that everybody and their mother details, and I want to do something that's more in demand. Car wash you can get done kind of anywhere. Headlight restoration you can't. And here I'm considered a specialist because I don't mean to, I'm trying to be as humble as I can here. No detailer is going to be able to do as good a work as this on a headlight. They typically just do like a sand and polish. Now granted, I'm not trying to cast stones or anything like that. I'm just saying there's a reason why I'm a specialist in this field, because I do this all day, every day. There's detailers out there that could potentially do it like this if they kind of pause and focus on just headlight restoration for the time being, for a little bit. But I am a big advocate for time to income ratio. I don't want to spend all day detailing vehicles. It just takes too long, in my opinion. You definitely make a lot of money doing it, don't get me wrong. I've got a lot of buddies who do it, but it's not my thing. Man, it's not working with me, is it? There we go. There's definitely a lot of money in it, don't get me wrong. But on average, it takes about 2 to 3 hours to do a detail. And at that point, it's super super meticulous. You got to make sure everything's clean if you're charging a good amount of money. Any detailer can agree to that. If I'm charging $300 for a detail, like, it's gonna be like a really good detail, and it has to be a really good detail. So for this, typically 30 minutes in and out. It's more of a safety concern, so there's more of a demand for it. You need to be able to see at night. You don't have to have a clean car. Alright, so we're good to go here. So this is what we're using, the Next Gen Headlight Solutions Headlight Restoration Clear Coat. I don't have to polish it. This has filling properties in it, so all I have to do is sand at a 600 grit and then apply the clear coat. I don't know if the seal is going out on this one, but I could see there's stuff on the inside. Again, that's the trained eye. Yeah, that's a lot of water. Like, that's really bad. As I said, it's humid here in Florida, so it's pretty frequent. Alright, I'm gonna do a test spurt right here. This is how it comes out. It's vertical. So I'm gonna do like a 50-50 layer, just back and forth, nice and even. It is humid out right now, so when I spray it, there's gonna be a lot of flash off. That means it's gonna be hazy, but you gotta give it time to for the solvents to evaporate. So alright, so you can see all that flash off. Just give that time and it'll evaporate. It's actually evaporating as I'm looking at it. Let me just wait here for a second. So in the meantime, we're going to pull this up. Make sure you do one at a time, like this. The reason why you want to do one at a time is because you saw the wind just like really picked up. Let's say I were to take the holders off that are right here, the tape right here, it would have, the wind would have blown the paper right onto the sticky lens, and then there would have been a bunch of marks. So learn from my mistakes. Try to do one at a time. The bottom's not too bad because it's obviously on the bottom, but the top you got to be careful. You see that flash off drying. So any clear coat, you have hardening properties in the clear coat. So whenever you spray it, since this is a 1K clear, meaning there's no activator, I don't have to, on 2K clears, there's an activator on the bottom, you got to smack it. That's the hardening properties in the can. So you're activating it. You got to activate the hardening properties, you got to shake it to mix everything up, and then you apply the clear coat. For this one, since it's a 1K clear, doesn't require an activator, the hardening properties are activated with oxygen and UV. So you can see it's completely glassed over. You can see there is some little microcracking right here. There's still a little bit of flash off over here on the top, but 10 times better. So you got to let it sit. It'd be tack free in about 10 minutes. It is a little windy right now. So that might be a little bit sooner. It'll have a full cure in about 30 minutes. So I always tell the customers, let it sit for 15-20 minutes, full cure. It really depends, but typically between 10 to 15 minutes you want to let it sit, and then 30 minutes for full cure. So just gonna take our pictures here. Always take your pictures. Oh, this guy's trying to park here. So we're just gonna take our video here. Always do your videos like that, guys. It's good for the portfolio. You can see it from multiple angles. So always take your pictures. Don't forget, because not only for portfolio purposes, but also for liability. Since this is contactless service, the customer might be like, hey, what's this scratch doing right here? Say, hey, like, look at this video, I have proof it was there before, and you're good to go. So alright, so here's the finished product. We still have a little bit of flush off over here on the top. You can see there's a little bit of microcracking right here. Actually, I don't know how well you can see it, but overall it's much better. This side came out perfect. You can see 100% light coming out of there. But no, this one came out great. So I did explain to him that there was too much water on that side. If it was a little bit of water and a lot of oxidation, I would have been like, yeah, let's go ahead and do it, because the sun can actually penetrate and potentially evaporate the water. But that one's too far gone. So discounted it for him so he doesn't have to replace both lights, and he'll save some money. So thanks for watching.